So we had revised most of the international relations places in news, and now we will discuss some of the topics which are related to organizations and groupings. Because if you see in the examination, sometimes they are asking questions on groupings. Last year they were asking 2 or 3 questions on groupings they have asked. Okay, so there are some international organizations and some groupings which can be asked in the prelims examination. We'll discuss that also. So let's start. So the most important international organization is the United Nations. Why this topic is important this year? Because of United Nation, okay, the charter, UN charter is completing 80 years. Okay, so UN charter was basically signed in the year 26 June 1945. So 1945, and this is 2025, so 80 years is getting completed. 80 years is getting completed, and therefore you can get a question on UN charter. You can get a question on UN charter. Okay, so UN charter was the foundation document of the United Nations. You know guys, United Nations was created after the Second World War. Okay, so if you see the UN charter, basically it codifies the major principles of international relations between the sovereign states. Okay, and it has been amended by the United Nations 5 times. It has been amended 5 times. Okay, so you should remember that this UN charter has been amended how many times? 5 times. Because UPSC sometimes will say that the United Nations charter has never been amended. It has been amended, and it has been amended how many times? 5 times. Okay, this is very important. Guys, there are 2 articles which are in news this year about UN charter. One is the Article 2 and other is the Article 51. What is Article 51? Can anybody tell me? What is Article 51? Who can tell me Article 51? Article 51 is basically right to self-defense. Article 51 is what? Right to self-defense. Okay, so this can be asked, guys. Okay, and when you study United Nations, okay, or when you study UN charter, you have to prepare one organization called United Nations Security Council. It is the principal organization of United Nations to maintain peace and security. Okay, it is basically a organization which can take binding decisions, and members must comply with the resolutions of United Nations Security Council. Okay, even the UN peacekeeping force comes under the United Nations Security Council. Okay, so they may ask you about United Nations Security Council. Guys, any decision of United Nations Security Council is taken by how many members? Can you tell me? How is the voting of United Nations Security Council? There are 15 members, 5 are permanent members, 10 are non-permanent members. These 5 members have veto. These 5 members have veto. So 9:15. Okay, 9 votes you should have. 9 votes you should have. This is a very important topic. You can expect a question on UN charter. You can expect a question on UN charter or United Nations Security Council. This is a very important. Please expect a question on that. Please expect a question on that. Okay. Then guys, General Assembly also you can prepare. It was also founded in 1945. It is headquartered in New York. Okay, UN General Assembly. Okay. Then okay, appointment of United Nations, okay, Secretary General. How is the appointment of United Nations Secretary General is done? Can anybody tell me? This year we are having the new Secretary General appointment. Okay, so how is the United Nations Secretary General elected? Can anybody tell me? Who elects it? It's a General Assembly, but it requires the acceptance by UN Security Council also. Okay, so they may ask you how is the UN Secretary General, okay, how he is appointed. Okay, this can also be asked. This can also be asked. So UNSC will recommend, and United Nations General Assembly will basically elect. Okay, so this can be one topic which can be asked, okay, in the examination. UN Security Council, UN General Secretary is basically what? He is the chief administrator of the United Nations. Okay, so they may ask you this. This is an important topic. Next, Guys, whenever we are talking about United Nations Security Council, there is always a debate about the reforms in United Nations Security Council. Related to this, there are two groupings which can be asked. One is called Coffee Club and other is called G4 Club. What is G4 countries? G4 countries are basically countries which want permanent seat in UN Security Council. These countries are India, Brazil, Germany and Japan. India, Brazil, Germany and Japan. And then there is another group called Coffee Club or Unity for Consensus, and this group basically has members like Italy, Spain, Australia, Canada, South Korea, Argentina and Pakistan. It has Italy, Spain, Australia, Argentina, Pakistan and South Korea. Okay, so this G4 and this Coffee Club, this G4 and Coffee Club is really very important. You can get a question on that. Then there is something called Ejulvini consensus. Ejulvini consensus is related to Security Council only. Okay. Then guys, peacekeeping missions. Guys, what is called blue helmet? They will ask you, what is blue helmet? Why blue helmet can be asked, guys? This year there are two important developments regarding the UN peacekeeping forces. First is, guys, there was attack on US peacekeeping forces in Lebanon. There was an attack on UN peacekeeping forces in Lebanon. Okay, so guys, UN peacekeeping forces can be asked. And there was a United Nations medal which was given to Indian peacekeeping forces. Okay, so these two topics makes this topic very important. There is one grouping called Group of Friends, which is an informal UN group for basically reforming the UN peacekeeping forces. So UN peacekeeping can be asked, guys. This is a very important topic, which can be asked. So please have a look at it. Right now UN peacekeeping forces are going on in Lebanon. In Lebanon it is called what? United Nations Interim Force in Lebanon, UNIFIL. In Lebanon it is called UNIFIL. Then we have in South Sudan UNIMIS. In South Sudan it is called UNIMIS. Then we have MONUSCO. Then we have UDOF, which is in Golan Heights. UNDOF, United Nations Disengagement Observer Force. United Nations Disengagement Observer Force. Where is UNDOF? Where is UNDOF? I have made a flashcard. UNDOF. Please prepare. Where are these peacekeeping forces located? UNDOF. It is in Golan Heights. Golan Heights, as I have told you guys, this is really very, very important. You can expect a question on Golan Heights. So please have a look at it. This is really very important. Now guys, there are two international organizations which are somewhat related but not the exact. This is, one is International Court of Justice and one is International Criminal Court. Guys, International Court of Justice is a UN court. It is a world court, UN court or world court. It is part of the UN system, International Court of Justice. Generally, International Court of Justice will resolve dispute between two UN members. But International Criminal Court, it is not the part of United Nations. It is part of the Rome Statute. It is part of the Rome Statute. Remember guys, India is not the member of International Criminal Court. Even Russia and America is also not the member of International Criminal Court. International Criminal Court basically will persecute those individuals which are accused of genocides and war crimes. Genocides and war crimes. So this can be expected question, guys. Remember guys, both of them is headquartered in I think both of them headquartered in Geneva. So this can Hague Palace, Peace Palace, Hague. The headquarter is in Hague. Headquarter is in Hague, Netherlands. Please take note. Take note guys. Hague. Don't get confused. Hague. So this is an important topic, guys. Okay, ICJ, International Court of Justice. It is binding. It is binding. Hague is very important location, guys. Both of them headquartered in Hague only. Okay, guys, the judgment of ICJ is what? Binding. Okay, keep this in mind. Guys, ICJ also has an advisory. ICJ, okay, also has a advisory. Okay, advisory jurisdiction. Okay, you can expect a question on that also. So ICC Rome Statute, it is also in Hague, Netherlands. Okay, basically ICC will look into individuals which are accused of war crimes and all that. Okay, then we have Global Initiative of AI Governance. This has been passed by United Nations General Assembly. Okay, next they can ask you international decades. Last year they have asked you international year. This year they can ask you international decade. So I am giving you some international decade. 2018 to 2027. 2018 to 2027 is International Decade of Eradication of Poverty. 2018 to 2027 International Decade for Eradication of Poverty. Then 2018 to 2028 International Decade for Water for Sustainable Action. Sustainable Action. Okay, like this, guys. Okay, 2027 to 2036 International Decade of for Afforestation and Reforestation. Then 2026 to 2035 UN Decade for Sustainable Transport. Then 2025 to 2034 Second Decade for People of African Descent. Then 2025 to 2034 Cryospheric Science. Decade of Cryospheric Science. So go through this list, guys. This list I have already shared. Why I am giving you this? Because last year they have asked international year. So this year they can ask you international decade. Okay, so this can be a topic which they can ask you. Okay, then guys, if you move, okay, this year International Maritime Organization is in news. International Maritime Organization. Okay, so Maritime Organization, it is a specialized agency of United Nations. It is headquartered in Geneva. No, it is headquartered in London, UK. It is in headquartered London. IMO is headquartered in London, UK. Very important, guys. It is headquartered in London. Okay, UK. London. Please remember, IMO is headquartered in London. India is a founding member of IMO. So IMO is in news because of various developments regarding shipping. Okay, there is something related to green shipping also is going on. There are various conventions regarding IMO. This is London Convention. Then we have, okay, other conventions also like International, okay, Convention on Ship Recycling, Ship Pollution, all that. Please go through this. These are very, very important. Okay. Then there is one grouping, guys. IEA, International Energy Agency. Okay, it is basically this International Energy Agency is headquartered in International Energy Agency, guys. Where is it headquartered? International Energy Agency, where is it headquartered? Can anybody tell me? Paris. Remember, it is in Paris. Okay. So generally, guys, this International Energy Agency is basically dealing with energy. Is India part of IEA? Is India part of IEA? No, India is not part of IEA. To become part of IEA, you have two criteria. First is you should be member of OECD, and second is you should have 90 days of, okay, strategic crude oil reserve. So they can ask you IEA, is India member of IEA or not? They can ask you. This is very important. Okay. Then IAEA, they can ask you IAEA, International Atomic Energy. Okay, they can ask you agency. This is very, very important. International Agency of Atomic Energy. Okay, they can ask you this also. So this is headquartered in Vienna, Austria. Okay, International Atomic Energy Agency is headquartered in Vienna. Vienna is in, okay, Austria. It is basically for the peaceful use of nuclear energy and to prevent military diversion. Okay, so please have a look at it. IAEA, okay, India is a founding member, but India is not a signatory to NPT. India is not a signatory to NPT. So NPT is also one topic they can ask you, guys. Okay, under NPT, guys, you know there are only 5 nuclear weapon states. There are only 5 nuclear weapon states. India is not the nuclear weapon state under NPT. Therefore, India has not accepted NPT. So they can ask you guys that NPT, they can ask you. This is a very important. Okay, so if you are part of IAEA, then you have to allow IAEA to inspect your basically nuclear establishment. Very important. Please have a look at it. This is important. Okay. Then ICAO, International Civil Aviation Organization. International Civil Aviation Organization. Guys, this is headquartered in Montreal. This is headquartered in Montreal. It is under the Chicago Convention. It is headquartered in Montreal. It is a very important body, guys. This is a UN specialized agency basically for aviation, transport and safety. This is really very important. Headquarters is in Montreal. Headquarters is in Montreal. Okay, Montreal is in Canada. Why this is important? Because there was a aircraft accident last year. So that time this was in news. ICOA. Guys, this year ICOA is also important for what? CORSIA. What is CORSIA, guys? CORSIA basically stands for Carbon Offsetting and Reduction Scheme for International Aviation. CORSIA. They may ask you question on CORSIA. Okay, what is CORSIA? CORSIA is basically a global market-based measure to reduce carbon emissions from aviation sector. Okay, from a level of 2020. The objective of CORSIA is to achieve carbon neutrality in aviation sector. Guys, India is 193 member countries of ICOA, and recently India has also joined CORSIA. Guys, India has to mandatorily follow the CORSIA mandates from 2027, and therefore you know India has been basically going for sustainable aviation fuel. Sustainable aviation fuel. So this is a very important topic, guys. Sustainable aviation fuel has been asked multiple times by the UPSC examination setters, okay, question setters. So please prepare this CORSIA. I think CORSIA can be asked in the prelims examination. It has two kind of phases, phase 1 and phase 2. Okay, phase 2 basically if you see, okay, so 2027 India is also have to follow this. Okay, so this is important. Then guys, FAO is headquartered in what? Which country? FAO. Recently it is in news, Rome. Okay. Then guys, IMF is in news. IMF and World Bank. So IMF, you know, okay, for any country which is facing balance of payment crisis, okay, IMF is in news. So IMF has many credit facilities. Few of the credit facilities are in news because of Pakistan and Sri Lanka. Can you name those credit facilities of IMF which is in news in the context of rapid credit facility? Very good. And extended fund facility. Extended fund facility and rapid credit facility. Yes, very good. This is important, guys. They may ask you this IMF lending thing. They can ask you extended fund facility, standby arrangement, rapid financing instrument. Okay. Then poverty reduction and growth trust, resilience and sustainability facility. Resilience and sustainability facility, they can ask you this. This is important. Then guys, international health regulation. This year, you know, Ebola. Which country is facing Ebola, guys? Can you tell me? Recently, which country is facing Ebola? Ebola breakout. Which country? DRC and Democratic Republic of Congo and Uganda. Okay, I think 2 countries are there. Okay. So WHO has basically termed it as, okay, public health emergency of international concern. So this can be asked, guys. This is very important. Then WHO pandemic treaty. Please have a look at it. WHO pandemic treaty. Under this WHO pandemic treaty, it is a legally binding treaty. It is a legally binding treaty. Okay. It is a second legally binding treaty of WHO. Previously, WHO had a single binding treaty. which was the tobacco treaty, which was a tobacco treaty. This one is the second legally binding treaty. So whenever there is legally binding, guys, you have to keep note of it. This is very important. Okay. So under this, guys, there is a pathogen access benefit sharing. Countries will have to share pathogen samples and genomic data, and in return they will get pharmaceutical companies equitable access to vaccines. Second, guys, okay, 10% of the producers of medicines will go to WHO for free and 10% at affordable prices. So there are some in good initiatives taken under this WHO pandemic treaty. So please prepare this pandemic treaty. This is really very important. Okay, you can expect a question on that. This year, guys, World Trade Organization is also completing 30 years. So please prepare the World Trade Organization. World Trade Organization, guys, you know, okay, Marrakesh Agreement. Marrakesh Agreement 1995. They can ask you Marrakesh Agreement 1995. Okay, so they can ask you about this. WTO, I am expecting one question. Okay, have a look at all aspects of WTO. WTO question can come. Okay, this year. Uruguay round, Doha round, Uruguay round, Doha round, Uruguay round, Doha round. Okay, very important. Key principles of WTO is most favored nation. Most favored nation. Okay, you should have a look at it. What is most favored nation? Then Interpol, guys, Bharat Pol and Interpol. Okay, Bharat Pol is India's basically, okay, coordination for the Interpol. Which agency is the agency designated for coordination with Interpol? CBI. Okay, CBI, you should know this. Okay, Bharat Pol, CBI. Then red notice, yellow notice, blue notice. They can ask you what is red notice, what is yellow notice, what is blue notice, what is black notice, what is green notice. The important one is the red notice as blue notice. Red notice and blue notice is important. Okay. Guys, they can ask you what is white phosphorus. White phosphorus. Is use of white phosphorus in war banned? Yes or no? Is use of white phosphorus, is it banned or not? Can anybody tell me? No, it is not completely banned. Under the Chemical Weapon Convention, it is not banned. Okay, remember this. Then Geneva Convention, guys. Geneva Convention, basically humanitarian laws during the war. Humanitarian treatment during the war. Okay, Geneva Convention, very important. Refugee Convention. Is India part of Refugee Convention? No, India has not ratified and signed the Refugee Convention. This is very important. Principle of non-refoulement. Then, guys, core conventions of ILO. Okay, out of 8 core conventions of ILO, India has only signed 6. 2 conventions India has not signed. Okay, so you should know. There are 8 core conventions of ILO. India has signed only 6, not 2 are not there. So you should know that. Then some conventions which are in news, guys. Hong Kong Convention, ship recycling, Ottawa Convention, anti-mine, then Montreal Convention, aircraft safety, then Basel Convention, transboundary movement of hazardous waste, then Stockholm Convention, POPs, then Rotterdam Convention, international trade in hazardous waste, then Montreal Protocol, ozone depleting substances, Marpol Convention, marine pollution, Vienna Convention, ozone layer, Vienna Convention, ozone layer, 40 years of Vienna Convention, 40 years of Vienna Convention. This year, guys, Vienna and Montreal Protocol, ozone, Vienna and Montreal Protocol, guys, this is very important. And CITES is completing 50 years. CITES. Guys, where is the secretariat of CITES? Where is the secretariat of CITES? CITES is a legally binding treaty. CITES. They will ask you CITES. UNEP. Ottawa Convention, they can ask you guys. Ottawa Convention, anti-personal landmine. Okay. Treaty, ban treaty. Ottawa Convention is news. Then Pax Silica. What is Pax Silica, guys? It is a grouping by United States of America. India has joined the Pax Silica. It is basically for supply chain for semiconductors. Pax Silica, supply chain for semiconductors, guys. Which are the members? America is the member, Qatar, Australia, Israel, Japan, South Korea, Singapore, United Kingdom, and now India has also joined Pax Silica. India has signed the Pax Silica. India was not the founding member, but India has joined recently. So in Pax Silica is a US-led alliance. Pax Silica, USA, Qatar, Australia, Israel, Japan. Okay, all this. Then Arctic Council. Is India member of Arctic Council? No. India is observer state in Arctic Council. Which are the member countries? Member countries of Arctic Council is 8 countries: Canada, Denmark, Finland, Iceland, Norway, Russia, Sweden, America. Okay, America, Sweden, Russia, Norway, Iceland, Finland, Canada, and Denmark. Okay. Then Solar Alliance. America has opted out of Solar Alliance. Solar Alliance was led by India. It is headquartered also is in India. India and Paris in 2015. Okay. India and France in 2015. Solar Alliance. It is headquartered in India. OPEC, I have already told you, OPEC and OPEC plus. Then guys, 5I Alliance. What is 5I Alliance? It's an intelligence alliance. 5I Alliance, it's an intelligence alliance. Member countries is Australia, Canada, New Zealand, UK and United States. Australia, Canada, New Zealand, UK and United States. 5I Alliance. 5I Alliance. 5I Alliance. Okay. Australia, Canada, New Zealand, UK and United States of America. Intelligence network basically. Then there is E3. E3 is European countries, guys. Germany, UK and France. E3. Then IMEC. IMEC, guys, they can ask you IMEC. Okay, IMEC basically Delhi. Okay, G20 summit. IMEC, it's a corridor. It's a corridor, India to Middle East and from Middle East to Europe. Okay. So I have already told you which are the ports under IMEC. This is very important. It can be asked. Okay. Then guys, another grouping which is in news is, okay, Mercosur. Mercosur, they can ask you what is Mercosur. Who can tell me, guys, Mercosur? Mercosur is a South America alliance. South America alliance, guys. Mercosur. Mercosur is basically a treaty for economic union in South America. The full members are Argentina, Brazil, Paraguay, Uruguay. Argentina, Brazil, Paraguay, Uruguay. Recently, Bolivia has also joined. But Venezuela has been suspended. Mercosur can be asked, guys, because of EU some deal has happened. Mercosur is Argentina, Brazil, Paraguay, Uruguay, Argentina, Brazil and Bolivia. Okay, so they can ask you this. AUKUS, guys, Australia, UK and US. AUKUS, security grouping, Australia, UK and US. I2U2, India, Israel, UAE and US. I2U2, guys, India, US, UK, India, US, Israel and UAE. I2U2, they can ask you I2U2. NPT, they can ask you, guys, NPT, I have told you already, India is not a signatory. NPT, India is not a signatory, guys, NPT. Okay. So, guys, is India member of Australia group? Yes. Is India member of Wassenaar arrangement? Yes. Is India member of MTCR? Yes. Is India member of NSG? No. India is not a member of nuclear supplier group. Okay. Is India signing CTBT? No. Is India signing NPT? No. Is India signing the Treaty on Prohibition of Nuclear Weapon? No. They can ask you all this. Okay. Then START treaty. What is START treaty? START 1 and START 2. US Russia treaty on weapons, nuclear weapons. Okay, START treaty. START 1, START 2. Russia, US, nuclear weapons. Operation Sagar Bandhu. Operation Sagar Bandhu, Sri Lanka. Operation Sagar Bandhu, India's operation in Sri Lanka. Operation Brahma. Operation Brahma. Operation Brahma, we have already discussed. Operation Sindoor. Operation Sindoor. Then Indus Water Treaty, guys. Indus Water Treaty. India and Pakistan. World Bank brokered. Western rivers will be with Pakistan. Eastern rivers will be with India. Western rivers are Jhelum, Chenab. Okay. Jhelum, Chenab and Indus. Eastern rivers basically Satluj, Ravi, Beas. Then guys, this year SCO can come. SCO. Which is the latest member to join SCO, guys? This year SCO can come. Which is the latest member to join SCO? This year there is 25 years of SCO, guys. SCO, the session was held in China. Belarus. Belarus, very good. Belarus. India is member of SCO. Pakistan is also member of SCO. Okay, Belarus. Recent one is Belarus. They can ask you like this. So these were some of the important topics. Yes, go through this, guys. I have already given you cards. You can go through this. I hope the session was useful. Tomorrow we will meet 2 times because tomorrow we have to cover polity and history both. Okay, tomorrow we have to cover polity and history both. Even schemes also we will cover. And Saturday, guys, we will cover all the subjects. Okay, 3-4 hours Saturday. All the subjects we will cover. Okay, Saturday all the subjects. Tomorrow we will cover 2-3 subjects. Last 2-3 polity we have to cover. History little bit we will cover. And some schemes we will cover. And some science and tech also is okay, second revision. Then on Saturday basically we will revise all the topics. Okay, chalo, bye, take care.